It's March 24th at about 10 after 12, and I'm just walking along the Cataraqui Trail east of Harrowsmith. It's cloudy to partly sunny, mostly cloudy, and 7 degrees with a strong southwest wind. We had almost 3/4 of an inch of rain last night. It came down quite heavy, so that was nice. It got rid of some more snow. There's still some patchy snowiness around though, and in certain areas it's still fairly thick where it's sheltered and shaded, but otherwise it's starting to get out of here, so that's good. Just gonna walk down this trail to the K&P and head south on the K&P down towards Millhaven Creek. See what we can see today. Well, as you can see, this section of the trail is nice and clear. I assume when we head south on the K&P through the more shaded wooded areas that it'll become more snow covered. Hopefully though, still some clear footpaths to follow. I guess you would call this gypsy moth love. Notice the gypsy moth egg cases here and some old larval cases hanging here amongst the love hearts. How sweet, how adorable. Well, this is what I expected here between the two cliff faces. A solid bed of ice and snow. Up till now, the trail's been mostly clear. And I can see up there beyond the cliff, it's also clear again. So it's just the shading of these two cliff faces. So the trail here would only get maybe sun for 2 or 3 hours a day, if that. That's why it hasn't melted out much. Oh well, not too bad. It's a bit granular, so you get a little bit of footing on it at least. So now the trail's becoming covered again, this time because of cedar trees on each side. Whatever provides the shading, that's all it takes. And it gives the ice on the trail a longer time to melt out. But overall the trail's been mostly clear, so that's been a nice surprise. I wasn't quite thinking it was there yet, but it won't be too long now. Although we are going to go in a little Arctic plunge again early next week, with some very cold temperatures, but I think it's not going to last too long, hopefully. The meltwater is getting more frequent now. Here's a nice little stream running out of the forest here. I used to love this time of year as a kid. I would find a small little rivulet like this and then try and dam it up so I could create a small pond. It was always a lot of fun just to see if you could ever hold it back, and then if you managed to collect a few square meters of water, then it was even more fun to break the dam and watch it run downhill. This little ditch stream is going over here into the woods here, disappearing down there. Looks like most of Millhaven Creek has opened up now with all the melting and rain. Oh, there's some hooded mergansers just taking off downstream, male and female. There they go. Just heading south from Millhaven Creek now. So just after the hooded mergansers, a couple wood ducks came flying into the marsh. I believe those are the first ones I've got this year. So that's another new spring bird. They get quite common in these marshes over the summer. So not rare or anything, but just nice to see them each year. They come in with quite a squealing sound. So here we get a long snow and ice section on the trail because there's a long border of tall white cedars on both sides for the most part. Here you can see a little gap in the cedars. You have a corresponding gap in the ice, just where the sun gets through more each day. Then when the cedars get solid again, so too does the ice. All about microclimate. Luna wants to go swimming already. That's got to be ice cold water. Certainly nice along here not to have to worry about snowmobiles. It gets tiresome sometimes when they come ripping up behind you or towards you at high speed, and then at the last minute they see you and then they slow down. Have to get the dogs off quickly. Anyhow, they've had a good season. They can't complain. Good long snowmobile season. Now it's my season. Now it's my season to control these trails. So, everybody, watch out. Parts of the marsh are getting thawed out, whereas other parts are still frozen over. But it won't be long. It won't be long. Here's a nice little thawed section for the most part. Canada geese are already starting to find these little holes and move in, along with mallards and a few other creatures. So yeah, for anyone wanting to walk or cycle this section of the trail, wondering what it's like from Harrowsmith to Murton Road, large sections of it are open, maybe 70% or 80%. Smaller sections are still iced or frozen over, or partly frozen over. That's in the shaded or closed in areas between the hills. And then there's some wet areas, not huge areas, but some wet areas. So it won't be long, probably 2 or 3 weeks, and you'll be able to ride out here on a bike, I suspect, if we get some decent weather. If it stays cold and doesn't warm up much, it may take a bit longer. But this part here I'm walking now is already probably good enough to cycle on. It's spongy, it'd be a bit damp and soft, but otherwise it's not bad at all. So it's 1:50 now in the afternoon, and we've just reached Murton Road transformer station here behind me, as well as the Murton Road sign showing where we are on the trail. It's been about a 7-kilometer walk down here from where we started, so I think we're going to turn around and head back for a total of 14. It's always a beautiful walk when the weather's nice, and today the weather's been nice. It's been somewhat a little cool, but also mild, so that's pleasant. And the trail's largely clear, except for maybe 10 to 15% of it, maybe 20% of it has some ice. That's about it. Even the icy sections are kind of grainy, so you get a good foothold on them. It's been a great walk, really enjoying it. My hands are nice and warm for a change. Nice to feel the springtime, even here where the snow is on the trail a bit. Okay, the camera's about 4 inches from my face on extreme wide angle. I don't know if we can capture it all or not. I'll probably be highly distorted if it does. I thought this might make for good content though. Is this good content, everybody? If so, I'll try and do more of it in the future. How's this? Well, that's nice. It's getting sunny out now. 40 minutes out from the car, but we'll have a beautiful walk on the way back by the looks of it. All clear blue sky to the west and northwest. So we're just coming up to 3:21 in the afternoon, and we're almost back at the car after our 14-kilometer hike. It's turned out beautiful right now. It feels like 10 or 12 degrees, partly sunny and mild. The wind has died down, it seems like, and just a beautiful late afternoon. I'm debating maybe even going for a bike ride when I get home, but I'm not sure I'm going to have the energy for that after this fairly long hike. The old hips and lower back aren't quite what they used to be. Catch you later. Have fun in the sun.